Okay, looks like we're getting started a little late here. Sorry, guys. I ran into some update issues as I was getting onto Zoom. And then I ran into PowerPoint upgraded issues as well, just trying to open and upgrade and all that fun stuff. Can you guys hear me? Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for being really patient too. Yesterday was kind of an unexpected schedule day. I actually was flying in from a different a different state, and the flight got all screwed up, and I came in later than I thought. So I had to rearrange some things. So hopefully you guys got my I was able to email one section of the class. The other section I couldn't get to, but I did post into announcements. So hopefully you guys got that. And we're able to watch the recording from week 2, live lecture 1. If not, good. If not, definitely go back to the announcements. I also posted it in the live session area as well. So take a look at that because it covers pretty much your discussion and your assignment 2 information. All right, did everybody have a nice Halloween week and weekend? I know we didn't talk yesterday live, so I figured I'd ask you guys. Got lots of candy? Yes, I had a great weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't have my daughter, but you know, we celebrated in other ways. So, but she had a great time. She got a lot of candy, and I was able to go out with her the week before anyway, with her school parade and other things that we did. So, oh yeah, she got a lot. And then my parents helped us out trick-or-treating at my house, and we had like 5 kids show up. So I have a ton of candy left over. If this was a real classroom, I'd be bringing it in for all of you guys, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it away other ways. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I need to go to the gym. That's funny. All right. Well, hopefully you guys had a wonderful weekend, are catching up with stuff. Does anybody have any questions from yesterday's lecture if you watched it, or anything kind of that we've gone over so far? Okay, Beth, go ahead. Do we use the most up-to-date info from the website? Yes. So you're going to be clicking on that link. So don't use what you see posted in the specifics. Yeah, for 2019. Yep. Hopefully if you get, you know, I try to do like a step-by-step demonstration of how I would approach each project in the lecture. So, you know, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely watch that before. You know, if you do have any questions, just kind of wait until after you watch that, because I think sometimes it clarifies a lot of that. Okay, good. Okay. Yep. So use the most current information. And let me show you here real quick. The information, and it actually says it in there. Let me see here. So if you go to the week 1 information here, it actually says in the red smaller type that this is just to show you what it looks like, but it's not the most updated data. So just go ahead and click on the website and get that most current information, which should be 2019. All right. Any other questions? Yep, no problem. All right. Yeah, so I think that'll be, you know, after going through the template design, this will kind of give you maybe some inspiration on what you want to do for your design from scratch infographic. So have fun with it. Make sure you're adding all the important information in there and making it relative, like all of your visuals and aesthetics should connect and unify with the information. It shouldn't look like two different things. So just make sure you're connecting and unifying those. All right, so welcome to week 2, session 2. As we get started here, we're just going to be going over your assessment 2 because yesterday in the pre-recorded lecture, I went over your discussion and your assignment 2. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to flip over here to Canvas and we can kind of read through the information here. This is the assessment 2 using vector graphing tools. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating 3 different graph styles using the graphing tool in Illustrator. And I think you guys will find this very interesting, and it'll get you more used to doing the different graphing options here. So for your assessment, you get to show your skills with the graph tool. I'm going to read through here. And used in this week's assignment, take the provided data. You can download it here. There's a zip folder that you can download on your computer, and use the Illustrator graphing tool to create 3 custom graphs. So 1 bar graph, 1 pie chart graph, and 1 line graph. You do not need to create a final infographic from the data, just this chart. So there'll be like 3 separate charts, okay? Okay, so in Illustrator, you're going to create an 8.5 by 11 document in Illustrator. You can do either or orientation, so portrait or landscape. And you're going to design 3 graphs, each displaying different data. So you'll have a pie chart, a line graph, and a bar graph. All right, so for the, okay, now this is stating, this information here is stating what is in your download folder. So you'll see Word docs that are named these. So for the US solar wind generation and the 5 top states 2015, you can choose to cover either the solar or the wind power data. Okay, so choose the appropriate type of graph to represent the specific data. Adjust the values, categories, and legends so they are relevant to the story. Customize the numeric values and scales needed. You're going to apply relevant color and choose appropriate fonts for the text. Do not use default. And there's a little note, if you add a drop shadow, customize it so it's not distracting or overpowering. Add chart designs to graphs, so download provided graphics here. There's actually graphics you can add into that. You can design your own if you would like, but keep the principles of design in mind and focus on a clear visualization of the data. Remember to communicate and not decorate. So the aesthetic shouldn't get in the way of the information is kind of what that's saying. It should be an aesthetic and not really the main focus. Okay, so presentation guidelines, if I can talk here. Present all graphs on one page in a professional, balanced way. Label each one as needed. Clean up your file and delete any obsolete objects outside of the artboard. And then you're going to name it just as an Illustrator file, AI, and you're going to submit that native Illustrator file that has the imported data loaded into the graphic tool for grading. Okay, so that I can go in and actually see if you're using the graphs appropriately. Yes, cohesive, you got it. If you just save it out as a PDF, I can't really go in there and see if you used, you know, it's a flat file instead of like a layered working file. So that's the difference. Okay, any questions so far? And hopefully, you know, going through this, you'll kind of understand a little bit more what needs to be done. So I'm going to download the folder here, okay? And again, this is the information in this download here folder. And this looks like this. I'm going to open up this download folder here. Okay, so in this has the 5 states. It's actually these are Excel, my bad, not Word. US energy and then US solar wind generation. So I should have 3 of these. Go ahead and open those up in Excel. They look like this. This is the 5 top states. So they'll look kind of like an Excel sheet. Well, they are an Excel sheet. Lots of information here. This one is the US consumption. And then the other one is, looks like this. I think this is the last one here, US solar and wind. Okay, so open those up. I'm gonna go back to our information here. Download that to your computer. And then also there's another folder you need to download, which is the provided graphics. So go ahead and download that. That's just going to give you some, you don't have to use them, but if you want to, they're available. And that's an AI file, so you can go ahead and download that, and it'll open up in Illustrator. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second once it's open. 2 simple little icons here. And you don't have to keep them the same color. You just can use these for your own. I think it's just 2 of these. Yeah, that's given. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the instructions. Let's go over this again. Okay, so we need an 8.5 by 11 document in Illustrator. I'm going to go back to Illustrator. I'm going to create a new file. So I'm going to go File, New. And I'm going to do mine portrait. So it's like this, okay? But you can do yours the other way, it's fine. Because I have 3 sections, there's 3 types of sections that you guys will have. You don't have to grid them out like I'm going to do, but you know, feel free to do whatever you think is more clear and effective for showing each of these sections. So I'm going to start out. Now this is completely up to you. Let me save this first. I'm going to go ahead and save. Sometimes that's good to do just in case. You get, oh, did I already name this? No. Let's rename this. What's going on here? Oh, geez. Never mind. I figured out the problem. I was not on the right board here. Okay, so I'm going to name this Assessment 2 and then my first and last name. Leave it right away so that if I get accidentally kicked out of this program, I'll at least have this saved up to date. Okay, or saved up to where I was last working. Okay, so it's up to you on how you want to do this. Feel free to add a background color if you want. I just decided I'm going to do maybe like a dark gray, something neutral. Do a little bit later here. And the 3 sections that you are going to get are, oops, what am I doing? Are types of energy. So you can use that as your headline too. Let me bring up my rulers. It kind of gives me a nice, I can go ahead and like divide this up into like a grid here. So this is my halfway mark. And if I wanted to divide this up, let's see here. Not great about there. Let's see. All right. So if I wanted 3 sections, let me get rid of this one. You don't, like I said, you don't have to do it this way. This is just something I decided to do based on my design that I decided to go forward with. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little border up here. Not a border, but like a little block, which I'll have my headline in. Make this a little like this lime color. I'm going to take my type tool and I'm just going to put types of energy. choose a font that you think works best for this. And I'm going to use something very, very like thick and neutral. So I'm going to use a sans serif typeface, and this one is called Beboss New. And this is something that I downloaded from a website. I believe it was Font Squirrel. Font Squirrel is great because they have really great web and print typefaces that you can kind of choose from. Why can't I pull this out here? I hit something weird. Okay, I'm just going to center this in here. There we go. And make it white. This is my headline. The font, yeah, I've used that too. Yep. I'm gonna kind of pull this down a little bit, give it a little bit more room here. No, it does sound like I am, doesn't it? I think it's the clicking on here. Because I listen to my recordings and I'm like, wow, that sounds really, really loud. I know. It's like mine's like a trackpad. That's funny. Okay, so sorry guys, I don't mean to be annoying. I'm gonna do like separate lines in here just to kind of divide it up. You can use just space to divide it up too. So it's all in like what your aesthetics are. Yeah, it's gonna be a little annoying, guys, sorry. So I just used the pen tool and I just held the shift key down, clicked on this part, clicked on that part, and now I'm gonna give it a color. And I'm going to go up to stroke. Where's my stroke panel box? That gives you more assets for your width and different options for your, oh, that's white, for your actual line. I'm going to do an alt drag and drag this down so you can kind of see that's what it looks like. Presentation mode there. Okay. I can have this go all the way too. I don't know. I just kind of put it like that. You stretch it all the way across. You can hear my clicking. Fun stuff. You liked it with the spaces there? All right, well, maybe we'll play around with it. Okay, let me hide my guides here so you can at least see it. Okay, so I have my 3 areas of which I can put my information in here. So I have types of energy, and so hold on a second here. I'm going to go back to my information in here, and I'm going to go ahead and look at those Excel sheets that were given to you guys. So I'm going to stop sharing, and let's go ahead and look at the Excel sheets. I'm going to just share my desktop so you guys can see. Here, hold on. Everything. All right, I'm going to share this. So this would be probably your last section in here. This is the U.S. solar and wind. And let me go to another one here. This would probably be your second section, which would be your 5 top states. And the first section, I probably would do this actual Excel sheet here. And this is the U.S. energy consumption. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this one. And I'm going to do a line graph for this one. I think this would work really well because it's showing each section: nuclear, renewables, coal, natural gas, and petroleum, and the consumption of each. Okay, so I'm going to, so it's 9 under nuclear, 10 renewables, coal is 16, natural gas 29, and petroleum is 36. So U.S. energy consumption. Now this says 2015. just, you know, go with it. It's what we have provided to you with you guys. It's not the most updated, but you know, just go with that. Okay. I would definitely start with maybe a subhead, and I'm gonna alt drag this so I have similar type. Alt dragging just as like a copy, and then you can change the you know, point size or whatever you need to do. I'm going to do like a smaller point size here. So I'm going to go from a 34 to 24, just because these are kind of like subheads underneath types of energy. And for this one, I'm going to start by saying US energy consumption 2015. And you feel free to copy and paste it in there from your, you know what? I would just use whatever's given to you guys in there, just because I'm not quite sure where they're getting this information for this. So I can't say, oh, go here. I mean, I'm sure you could find it, but we'll just go with what we have so we understand what we're doing here. Okay, so you have in Illustrator here. Let's see if I can go in here. Oh, not that. That's your crop tool. All right, let's see. For some reason, mine's not showing in my toolbar. There we go. Why is that in my toolbar? I guess I have to put that in there. Huh. All right. For some reason, it's not in my toolbar. This is something, a preference that I probably can definitely change. I just noticed that since they updated, it looks like it's something that got screwed up on my computer where I have to go and change my preferences and what my toolbar is showing. And that's something that is you can easily do. But how I found this, I just did like, where's the help? Shows me where it's under object and graph. So if it doesn't show in your toolbox, go under object and go to graph options. And typically what it does, it looks like this little icon in your toolbar. For some reason, I don't have it set up in my toolbar right now. So these are different types of graphs, and as you kind of scroll over each of them, they're going to tell you column, which one's which, what they're called. Sorry guys, my phone's. Stacked column, bar graph, stacked bar, line graph, area, scatter, pie, and radar. So those are all the different types of graphing options in Illustrator that you can play around with. Now you have a style down here too that you can choose, and also column width and cluster width, you know, how far apart it is. So there's all kinds of different preferences that you can do. I'm going to do a line graph for this one. So I'm going to choose line and mark data points. I'll have that checked. You can have it connect or not connect. I'm going to have that checked. First column front will show you how that kind of plots out once I click OK. When I click OK, now all you need to do is go ahead. Ooh, where did it go? It left me. Graphing options, okay. Hold on, I must not see all of my stuff here. Let me clean up my presets here. My stuff is everywhere. Reset essentials. There we go. Stuff is hidden behind all my chat areas. Okay. All right, left side, right side. We want left side, graphing options, okay. Now, I don't know why this isn't allowing me to draw this out. Here, let me see 1 second. This is kind of like a This is really weird because usually they have it in my toolbar. Let me see something real quick. Let me go to preferences. It's really weird. It should be in my toolbar here. Okay, this changed a lot since I last did this, which I actually just taught this class recently. So something like really weird changed here. Let me see here. You said there's a toolbar option under edit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, this is where you turn it. Okay, so at the very bottom of my toolbar, that's where you can add it on. They change this all the time. Sometimes it's in other areas, but here it is right here under the very bottom part of your toolbar. There's those three little dots. For some reason, they changed this, so now it's all new to me. But this is typically what you would have found under your preferences, and you could edit it. But the ones that are not like solid white are the ones that are hidden. So let's go ahead and find our graphing tools. There we go. Okay. There you go. No, you're good. We'll figure it out, right? Sometimes these things change, and I mean, I haven't really done a lot of graphing in my working world, so it kind of changes as our software updates. So it's like, you're gonna figure it out. All right, these look like they're actually in here. Let me see if I could drag and drop them in here. Good. Yeah, so it looks like I can drag and drop these in here. So like, let me do that. The ones I know I'm gonna possibly use here. Drag and drop, drag and drop. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right, that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna select my line graph tool and I'm gonna draw out a square. Just, any size that would fit in that area that you're gonna do. Okay, hold on one second. Get rid of this. Everything's in my way here. I have like all these windows open. Okay, here. So you're going to use that Excel information and you're going to put it in this panel box. And that's what I'm kind of getting to here. Just give me 1 second. Yep, exactly. So if you don't see it in your toolbar, as far as the, graphing tools, you know how to get there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this information right here and put it in our line graph. So we got 9, 10, 16, 29, 36 that we need to put in here. Okay. And then we also had to put that information in there as well. So give me 1 second and I'll move this stuff around here. Sorry, I'm like trying to get all this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna place those numbers in here. So 9 goes into this cell and 10 goes into this cell. You just type in 10, go to the next cell, 16, and 29. And the last one is 36. Once you're ready to see it, you just click this little check mark here and it'll apply it to your to your chart. Let me see here. All right, so I think I did something wrong here in my chart. 1 second. There we go. No, that's not it. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, okay, that's what I did wrong. All right, so I did it straight across. You guys need to do it vertically. I was like, that does not look right. There's something I did wrong. So just delete what I just said with the horizontal. Let's get those out of here. And let's see here. You're going to do it vertically down. So right next to the number 1 will be your 9. The second row cell will be 10, 16, 29, 36. And you'll know because as you saw the first time, it just went straight up and down. So this is actually showing me a line graph here. Okay, and then you can just click this little X when you're done. Now, if I zoom in here, you'll see kind of the totals. And if you want to edit this out, you need to ungroup it. So go ahead and hit, let's see if it's grouped here, ungroup. And then that way you can take your direct selection tool, which is your white arrow. Let me pull this down here. And you can delete certain things like, little, lines if you don't want them to be aesthetically in there. Or if you want to change your lines, like the thickness of your lines, for instance, say this is too thick, you can go ahead and change that to a much thinner line. You can change these to a different color. I would definitely do like a white on this dark hue so that you're able to see it. But you can definitely change this to be whatever you want. You can even pull these lines over, take this line out, whatever you decide to do, just aesthetically, however you want to do it. You can pull them over here and give them a different color and thickness. Something like that. But you have to use your indirect selection tool. That's your white arrow to do that. And you will have to ungroup it before you do anything too. All right, so I'm going to undo this. I'm going to go back to, the little notch here. And I'm going to make this white. Fill. No stroke. There we go. I have to adjust that because it looks like those strokes are getting really small. Super small. If you hold down the Shift key, you're able to select all of them together to apply the same effect. So if I wanted to change the thickness, I can do a Shift select. It just kind of gets annoying because things get in the way. Okay, the next thing that you can do is add type to this. So below here, add white stroke. Some of it's a little tedious here. I can add copy. So if I just take my type tool and I can draw out, ooh, not that. Copy box, which I'm going to pull over here. Now, obviously, you'll make this smaller. Same typeface, just much smaller. I'm going to make it white. And then, whatever your Excel sheet says on the bottom that matches the information. I believe nuclear is number 1. Nuclear. Wait, that's not right. Let's see. Nuclear renewables. And you can copy and paste this from your Excel sheet. Coal, natural gas, and petroleum. If I spell that right. Might want to do a spell check. Petroleum. Okay, and then you can set your tabs in there based on when this chart is going on here. So if you just double click on your type, where's your tabs at? For some reason, under type, yeah. Thought so. You can set your tabs there. Where's my tabs? Type tabs. Oh, under window. Okay. So that's a little tricky. Okay. So you would go under your window and type and choose tabs. For some reason, I thought it meant on your menu bar. Okay, this kind of works like your InDesign tabs. So if you're familiar with that, you know, this might be easy for you. Sometimes they're a little tricky too. Because I'm centered down here in paragraph, I'm going to do a left align so that it just resets it to the left. Way I'm not battling anything, but I want to use my center justified tab, and I'm going to hit right in between. See these little nodules? I'm going to hit right in between those with that same tab, and that'll make sure that all of my words are centered in between all of these. So I'm just clicking one time in here, one time, and that'll set your tabs. Hold on, and then just close out of that when you're done. Somebody's chatting here, hold on. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Petroleum. Petroleum, that's spelled wrong in the EUM. Oh, that's spelled wrong in your Excel sheet, so take note of that. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take out all the spaces in there. I thought that looked kind of weird. Spaces that I put in here, just go ahead and delete that out. I'm going to put my mail here for some reason. It's dinging and donging here. And right before my nuclear first word, I'm going to hit tab. And then right in between my nuclear renewable, I'm going to hit tab. And then right in between my renewables and coal, I'm going to hit tab. Right in between coal and natural gas, I'm going to hit tab. And in between petroleum. Oh, you're good. If it looks like you need to adjust it, go ahead and just select it. Go back up to window, go back to type, and go to tabs, and you can go and adjust this. So you can pull this up too, just to see how much you need to adjust. But you can kind of play around with this and see what I have to put a space in between there. See if that looks like it's more centered. It looks like I'm going to make this a little smaller type wise. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this up to my chart. Right there. Okay. Any questions about that? So that would be, now you can use whatever chart you think would work best for this. I'm just kind of showing you, how I would do it. You can change the color of this too. Like say, if you wanted to do, different colors in here. Okay. You can do like a yellow or whatever. Okay. Bring up my swatches here. It's actually kind of cool, just using like yellow for the little squares. I'll use 0. And that. Okay, so you can kind of change it and based on whatever you see. Whoops. All right, so that's a bar graph. Play around with that. And then you can center it in here once you're done, if it looks good. There you go. The second one should be homes powered by solar megawatts. Homes powered by solar megawatts. That's the subhead there. And that is also, let me switch to that one here. This one. Oh, wait. Yes, this one here. So it's giving you by state, so California, Arizona, North Carolina, New Jersey, Nevada. Megawatts, it's giving you how many megawatts are powered by so many homes here, and it's just giving you that total. For this one, I'm going to use a pie chart, and I'll show you how to get that started. So I go in here. So this will go in the second area here. I already put my pie chart in here, so I'm good to go. Just need to select pie chart and just go ahead and draw it out. And it's going to give you the same cell as the other one did, and you're just going to plug in that information just like before. Oh, you did? About it? What was the email about? Sorry. It's got your... All right. 1 second, let me grab. Oh, really? That's cool. Oh, they want you to? Is that what you're saying? Oops, telling how. Huh, interesting. Well, that's exciting. Okay, so for this one, awesome. So for this one, you're going to plug in that, okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. You're going to plug in the totals that were given to you. So in that chart, I'm going to go ahead and just copy each one of these. So this one would be, and you put these horizontally, like I was showing you before, across here. So this would be the 13,000. I'm just copying and pasting this into my chart here. This is the 2,300. Exciting stuff here. That's that. These are all the totals given to you guys in the Excel. This is New Jersey. And the last one is Nevada. Okay. And then hit a little check mark and you'll see those totals come up in your pie chart. When you're done, click that little red box and now you can pull this over. But what we need to do is we need to not only visually show it in the pie chart, but also show it verbally. And I say verbally because it's, you know, written, what we are seeing here. So that it's a little bit more clear as to what this pie chart is showing. So we know it's about homes being powered by megawatts, but we don't know what the actual pie chart is showing. So all we need to do, I'm going to slide this over, and just like with the other one, you can adjust this based on your colors here. So, you know, all you need to do is ungroup it. And I'm going to get it a stroke of none, just because I like it clean looking. And to me, that looks clean when you do a stroke of none. I'm going to select the biggest part of it. I'm going to give it some colors here. And I'm going to open up my swatches to do that. I would do, you know, I would keep it pretty, mine's kind of neutral in the background. So my colors can be kind of a little bit more than 2 or 3 because it's more simplified in the background in terms of the other aesthetic colors. So I can kind of use a rainbow of colors here, which I will definitely need to because it's more than 3 anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and choose colors for this. And let's do a little darker for that one. And this is a nice way to color coordinate so that it's visually easy to understand what you're looking at. You can compare it to the right side information, which we're going to put in here. And that is, I'm going to take my type tool again. And I'm going to write homes megawatts. And that'll be kind of my little headline there so that people know what we're looking at. There we go. Okay. Hold on. Oh, this is driving me nuts today. I don't want to do that. Where is my... Really? Okay, this is driving me crazy. All right, let's go ahead and plug in the information for the homes. So the first one would be the 1240. And I'm gonna go low to high. So I'm plugging this information that you just did in the pie chart, just showing it visually or verbally here. 2303, and the last number is 13241. We are 9:30 mountain time. So if you're, check your time zones, where are you at, Lyric? Oh, okay, your mountain time. Nope, 9:30. It says it in the live session area. Did I have it as 10:30? I don't remember saying that in my announcement. If I did, I apologize. In the live session area, it's always been 9:30, but let me see. Maybe I did post it wrong in there. Hold on. Let me go check. I'm curious. Oh, you know what? It does say that. I copied that from an older. Yes, that is incorrect. My bad. Yeah, so that's definitely, that's my bad. I actually pasted that in a hurry and didn't change that. So the live sessions should start, and that's what's kind of indicated here all the time at 9:30. So that's my bad. I was in a crazy rush yesterday. Yep. I was just curious because I was like, okay, maybe I did accidentally post that in there. Sorry about that. Oh. Well, you know what? We just got started with this demo. So whatever you missed, you could just watch the recorded part that you missed here. Ah, yeah, well, I guess that's the good thing. At least it's recorded. Yeah, I just didn't notice that. I guess I just copied and pasted it from an older announcement and didn't change the times. Sometimes that happens. Okay, so I am going to put okay, so this is coming from your Excel sheet. So this is the megawatts I just typed in here. The homes is the next number that we have to focus on. So if you want to, we can actually switch these around. Yeah, probably. I didn't even think about that. All right. I feel really bad now. I just kind of, it's been a weekend, let me tell you. All right. Sometimes it happens to the best of us. Sorry about that. I apologize. That was my boo-boo. I will own up to that. You know what, just follow along, and then whenever you get back to this part, at least you won't have to watch the rest of it. I'm just kind of copying what's provided to you guys. So when you get to this point, you'll understand when we get to that. Yeah, it's information that's given to you in your Excel sheet for this assignment. All right. I'm going to now add some tabs in here, just like I did before. So window, type, tabs. Yep, you're going to plug in this information. Yep. So I don't have to worry about, let's just put a left justified tab for the homes part. So I'm going to go boop anywhere on here. So that will just be one left justified tab that I'll just add in here for this information. So now I just have to go in here and I'll delete the extra spaces and hit tab. So it'll go right to that tab. And then you can adjust it if you want. Say if it's too spread out, go back up to window, tabs, tabs under window. And you can kind of move this closer if you need to and adjust that. I'm going to make this a little bigger in size. Maybe not that big. Let's go back. And then the only thing missing is the state, right? So we need the state in there. What I'm going to do here, oh, we have extra space in here. Looks like, oh, no. Do an extra type box. And in here, I'm going to just type in the initials. So CA, AZ, NC, NJ. And what's the last one here? And again, this is all off your sheet. Yep, NV. And I'm going to treat this a little differently. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this so that it's kind of in a different view here, but it'll align with what the information is saying. And I could put tabs in here too if I wanted to make sure this was like right on the line. It looks like it's aligning pretty well there. And then color coordinate it based on the chart. Yep. So it's kind of a neat way to show it. Let me pull it out a little bit. And then all you need to do is go ahead and grab that color from the pie chart. And this is going from least, the smallest part sliver of the pie. So we're going to go ahead and take the eyedropper tool and just select that type to make it that color. And that'll just allow the viewer to see, okay, they're talking about Nevada, how many megawatts versus how many homes are powered. Same thing here. That one's a little hard to see. Let's make that a little lighter. Let's see if that actually looks better. Not too much, right? Let's see. It's hard to see on there. Okay, then North Carolina would be the green. Arizona would be the red. Does anybody have any questions about that? And I know Lyric has questions because she kind of caught the tail end of this one, but let me know if you do have any questions once you do review it again. Yeah, pretty cool. And then, you know, you can arrange it so that it's centered on your page here a little bit better. And what I like to do, you can, well, this probably won't group real well. So let's do it visually centered. And about, it's always going to look heavier on the left side because of that pie chart, but you can get it so that it looks visually centered. Looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to save this. Oh, the nudge, like I just selected it and then I used the arrow keys on my keyboard. That kind of is a nice way to do it without having to click and drag it over. And yep, just like you can kind of nudge it a little bit. Okay, this next one is really easy to do. So this next one will be showing solar versus wind energy. And this is going to be based on, here, this Excel sheet ready. This information. And again, this is provided in your information in your project specs. And all you have to do for this one is put your cursor in where it says AN1, select that first middle cell there, top left cell, I should say, and then hold down Shift on your keyboard, and then select the very last number down here to select it all with the Shift key held down, and then go up to Edit Copy or do a Command C. So you're copying just that information, and you're going to go back to your AI file, and we're going to do a different graph here. We're going to do a column graph. Now, Lyric, if you don't see any of your graphs here, and we just went over this before because I couldn't find it, go down to the Edit toolbar at the very bottom, and you'll find them here, and all you have to do is drag them and pull them into your toolbar. Okay, so I'm going to do the column graph tool. If you don't see it, you might need to do kind of search for it there. Okay, so now I'm going to just take that, select that column graph tool button, and I'm just going to draw out just like you did before, drag and drop, and I'm going to, oh, sorry. Let me go back and do that again. Let me delete this. So you probably didn't see what I just did here. The edit toolbar is where you'll find, and you'll have to scroll down to the graph tools. But if you don't have them in here, this is where you find them and just drag and drop them in here. Can you see it now? My Illustrator file? Okay, sorry. And then you're going to take that, with that selected, that bar graph, what's it called? Column graph, sorry. You're going to draw this little square out. So it's going to give you the graph as soon as you let go of that square that you drew. And you're just going to hit paste in there. So Command V, because remember we copied that information. And then you're going to hit this little apply check mark, and you're going to see that information plotted out here. Pretty cool. Yeah, so that one's a little easy. No, Lyric, that's my problem. Yeah, I apologize. Like I said, that was my mistake. Luckily, this will be a shorter lecture, so you can just listen to the, I think it was like not even a half hour. So I think, you know, that shouldn't be too bad. Okay, yeah, I think you'll be fine. All right, I apologize again. Let me go to the scale tool on your toolbar, and this is where you can scale your graph proportionally. Say if you wanted to get a little smaller, I'm going to hit 90. You can scale it that way. But the information I just plugged in here, it's nice. It's all in there, and all I need to do is ungroup it so I can make it the color that I want it to be. This background here, or what are you talking about? Yeah, you don't have to have it gray. That's my aesthetic that I started with. Yeah, that could be black, that could be white, whatever you decide to do. I just decided to aesthetically make it gray. So don't feel like you have to follow what I'm doing in regards to the aesthetics. That's completely up to you guys. That's the fun part. Ungroup if you find that, you know, you can't edit something together, it might be grouped together. So I'm just editing out the colors here so that I have the whites a little bit easier to see. I'm taking off the stroke. Yes, you can use texture background as long as it doesn't get in the way of the information. But that would be really, really cool. There's also some other things that you can do that I'm going to show you in a second here. Yeah, textures are great because they're more abstract, and you can do a lot of really neat things to it. Just kind of gives it dimension. And yep. Okay, so I'm going to make these different colors too, but they're going to match kind of what I've been using. And then I'm just going to make sure that these are easy to read. Don't ever put stroke on type stroke. That's a no-no. That just makes it really hard to see. A lot of students do that, say with headlines, you know, they'll put like a stroke of it like that. Don't do that. That makes it harder to read. That compromises the typeface. So that's something to avoid. But that one is pretty easy. You just plug in that information, and I'm showing a line graph and a pie chart and a column graph here for my 3 different types. So you're going to show 3 different types of graphs that you think would show each of these sections visually effective in your own aesthetic, kind of using your own way of, you know, expressing this. You can use textures in the background. Also, don't forget, you guys have these icons that you can use. So like, for instance, this wind one, let me copy this. This is also provided in your assignment details. I can make this, I'm gonna make this all white. I'm gonna even change the color. And I'm gonna give it an opacity so that, you know, it's kind of fading to the background a little bit. And I'm gonna make it bigger on my scale. Just make sure you're doing it proportionately. And you can place this by the information that you're kind of talking about here. Make it a little bit bigger. And these can be part of your aesthetic too, if you want to use these. You don't have to use these. Make sure your information is in front of it though. Oh, I have to change that typeface here. Meaning, you know, this information should all go in front of your graphics. So let me select all of this. And I'm going to say bring to front, arrange, bring to front. And then I can make a copy of this and make this smaller. Let's not do that small. Let's do like 70%. Can make our perspective. And I'll probably just make it slightly darker in opacity, so it's like kind of hidden in there. All right, same thing with solar. Let's make that white, no fill, and then we can change the opacity here as well. Make it bigger. So you can have a lot of fun with this. You don't have to use this. You know, what's provided to you guys is just something that you can play around with. Yep, you can do that. Yep, that's a good idea, like that. That's kind of cool. Just make sure this information, I just took your idea, right? Here, I'll put it aside so it looks different than yours, what yours would be. And you can do other stuff too. Like for example, let me save this. I have another file. Let me see if I can open it. It's in my desktop that I can give to you guys. I just looked up like a house, like a house icon. I don't know if you guys can see this. And this is just something that I grabbed really quick off of like Pixabay or whatever. If you place it in here, you can trace it. So you can do like an image trace. Here's quick actions, image trace. And you can do black and white logo. If you want to change the color, just hit expand. And you'll want to get rid of the background. So this is a white background. So go ahead and select that, hit delete on your keyboard until it's gone. Now you can copy and paste it in here, and we'll use white instead of black here. Let's do gray. And let's do gray. Oops. Hold on, somebody just typed in the chat here and it disappears when I go back and forth. There you go. Icons8.com, great. Thank you. Yeah, this one didn't quite trace. Something happened here, hold on. Let me try to edit this out a little bit. Something got lost. I'm gonna copy, get rid of this one and paste this one in here. I can cut this out too if I wanted to. But anyway, again, you know, down the opacity if I wanted to coordinate with all my other information, and then I can size it based on what I want it to look like here. So you can add some really cool things in here. Oh, you know what? Let's bring this up here on this top part. Yeah. And I'm going to use a solar powered, see if I can find a solar power box here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. See, this is, I don't know why this, I'm going to give this file to you guys because this is different than what you're using. It gives you a solar panel. It gives you this house. For some reason, that's not given to you guys in that folder. So I will post this to announcements and you guys can use that. That way you don't have to look up a house if you don't want to. Yep. All right, so I just created this, made it 11%. This is the solar panel. I liked it actually small. We'll keep it on the small side here. Let's see. See if we can rotate it a little bit. Give it some little rotated action there. Make it a little bigger. I think it could be a little bigger. But play around with it. See what you got. See what you can do. I'm trying to tuck this information in here, but maybe the house would be better over here. I don't know. I kind of like it over here because the whole pie chart's really big. Yeah, I was thinking that too, but then I don't know. to play around with it. Maybe it would look better bigger. Let's see. Fill up the space a little bit more. What do you guys think? A little better. Let's take the opacity down just a little bit. Not bad, not bad. You guys, you're too nice. Okay, let's dial this down a little bit. We don't want the information like this to get into the way of the information. We just wanted to make it look good here. So I could balance this out a little bit better, but you get the idea, right? Not bad at all. So I'm keeping the idea of, you know, the principles of design. You know, everything's centered on mine. You don't have to have yours centered, but that's just the way I decided to grid mine out and align it. So I am paying attention to those details. Okay, this one. Also paying attention to hierarchy. You know, I have my headline here, which I could probably make a little bit bigger because it kind of gets a little it's fighting a little bit with all the subheads, but oops, let me go. There we go. Just make sure everything's spaced out. Like if it, I think this is okay. I don't necessarily have to even use these lines in here. You know, I can just have my subheads space it out, like using just space to do that. So it's completely up to you what you want to do and what you think looks right. Yeah, it does. I like that. I probably will pull my lines out though. Any questions about that? I don't know, maybe I did like those lines in there. Have fun with it, you know, make it your own and make it look really professional. Like all the ones that you guys played around with the templates. Yep, creative. When you're done, save it, just save it as your AI file. It should be already as an AI file. That's what you're going to submit. So let me go back to the details here. Give me 1 second. Right here. So you're going to name it as such, and then you're going to submit your AI file for grading. You can clean up your file, delete any obsolete objects outside of the artboard. And you're going to have all the graphs on one page. And like I said, just design 3 graphs. Doesn't matter which one you use for which, but whatever you think is appropriate. And here's the folder where you'll find the Excel sheet, Lyric, if you know, obviously you missed the beginning. So that's where I found the Excel sheets to gather that information. So you're just going to kind of make it your own based on that information, your own visuals. And then here is the graphics provided here, although I'm going to give you guys a different file that's going to have more graphics on it. And feel free to use your own as well, as long as they're copyright free. Pipeline and bar graph. You know what? I would say, because there are different styles, if you think there's other graphs that would better display that's not here, You know, I think there's other bar graphs that they have. Go for it. Yep. As long as it's showing the information correctly, you know, that's all that really matters, I think. And I would definitely show 3 separate ones. Like, don't do 3 pie charts in a row or 3 line graphs. Do, you know, show 3 separate style of graphs. So, if that makes sense. Yep. All right, so I'm going to show you, I think I have some examples of student work here that I can show you kind of what other people have done, I believe. Don't hold me to it though. Let's see, I hope I do, because it's nice to see what other people have done in the past. Okay, I do, and they're all AI files. Well, for the most part. Let's see, there's some PDFs in here just for viewing sake. So let me open those up. Let me open up the PDFs first. We'll take a look at those. Although you're not sending me a PDF, remember, you're sending me the AI file. Okay, so here's some student work. Oops. Hold on. Where is this? Okay. Get to the right. There we go. Can everybody see that? Types of energy. Okay. So, you know, this is kind of nice to see what other people have done. Some of it is definitely a little bit more creative than mine. So this is one of them. Okay, whoops. There's another one. This one's more, you know, it's not portrait, it's landscape, which you can do. Yeah, that is cute. So you can use your Illustrator skills, like show a landscape. Yeah, the peach color is hard to read. There's one's a little bit darker. Oops, this one's big. Here's this one, using like the stars for the energy. This is kind of neat because the bar graph are the little houses. So you could do something like that. Pretty cool, pretty cool. This one, they're kind of taking out the slices of pie here. Neat. This one is, oh wait, this one's not what you guys are doing. That's actually for your other one. Sorry. Yeah, it's another example. Okay. This one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. This one's neat. They're using a lot of texture, like there's little dots in the background, like vectors, it's texture. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let me see if I can open up the AI files here because I do have a couple more examples. But be inspired by these, you know, don't let it stifle your creativity. Just see what other people have done and, you know, plot out kind of what you want to do. Yeah, there's always room for improvement, right? Let me see if I can. Okay, let me open up the AI file, see if I can open these up without having font issues. This one now, cancel. When you are done with this, you might want to outline your fonts. Do you guys know how to do that? Just if I don't have your font, it's not going to show. Like for instance, remember this one that I showed you as a PDF? This is how I would see it if I don't have your font. So you might want to outline your type. Yeah, I'll show you that in a second here. See how it's saying, you know, this document, yep, this font, I can't see. Oh, same thing here. I think that's why I saved them out as PDF. So these are almost the same ones that I showed you. Yeah. You want to save so here's the thing though, guys. If you want, you know, I would definitely save it out as outlines, but before you do that, save out 2 copies. You know, do you know why? Yeah, because you can't go back after you save out your outlines. You can't change your typeface. It'll just be shapes. So if you accidentally save over your AI file after creating your outlines and you save it and you go back in, you're not going to be able to take the type tool and edit any type. It'll just be shapes. So what I would do is go File, Save As, and just name the second version Outline or Outlined or Outlines. So you have the first one, and then the second one's outlines. The first one's for you to edit if you need to make changes. The second one is your outlines. So this outlines, once you save as, click OK, do a select all. So a Command A on your keyboard, or you can just go to select all, and then go up to type, and then you're going to create outlines. Okay, so that's going to change it from a font to a shape, and then you're going to save it, and that's what you'll send to me. I can still see your charts because it's an AI file, but I will be able to read your font because, you know, say if you have a crazy font or even a non-crazy font I don't have, it's going to open up really weird. It's going to show like I just showed you. So it's going to try to sync it to your font that I might not have. Any questions about any of that? I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to post, let me save this to my desktop so I don't forget. I'm going to put this on the announcement so you guys can have this to play around with if you need it. Because the only one that's given to you is just the top 2 icons in the actual folder. Okay, so I'll do that. Is there any other questions that you have with this assignment? Hopefully I help clarify everything that you guys need to do. If not, I'm here to help. Good to go? Okay. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have today. Like I said, it's going to be a short one. If you want me to look at anything or have questions, this is the time. But if you missed any of it because I accidentally put the wrong time for this lecture, I will be posting the recording in about 30 minutes. So you can check in and fast forward, or, you know, go watch the first half hour and then not watch the rest. So like I said, I apologize. That was my, I put the wrong time in announcements. So, all right, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Lyric. Yeah, let me know. Definitely. Sorry about that. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the discussion boards. All right, bye-bye.